As a 500 subscriber special, here are 10 facts about Bully Scholarship Edition and Canis Canem Edit. Number 1. PG rating. The original concept for Bully was way more GTA-like and featured more cussing, violence, and explicit content. One of the original lines in the game was when Jimmy was being mocked by Gary. Jimmy then responds with, "Give me a break, dickhead," which of course this was changed over to, "Give me a break, loser," but the original subtitles can still be found in the game files. Jimmy was also supposed to be able to wear a pair of panties over his head as a piece of clothing for comedic purposes. There are also many unused lines by Jimmy and other characters that feature them swearing. There was also an unused cutscene in the Christmas special trailer for the PS2 version back in 2005 that featured Gary talking about how young love is such a beautiful thing. He then pantomimes a doggy sex-style motion while yelling. The cutscene has been completely removed and can't be found in the game files. Number 2. Banned in Brazil. Due to the suggestive nature of the title and overall concept of the game, Bully was quickly banned in Brazil. This decision was made by Judge Flavio Mendes Rebelo, who claims that the game could have been potentially harmful for not only teenagers but adults as well. Anyone caught owning the game will face a fine up to 1,000 Brazilian real, which amounts to about $328 US. Number 3. The GTA universe. Similar to Red Dead Redemption, Manhunt, and Max Payne 3, it is very likely that Bully takes place within the same universe as the GTA series. Occasionally, you can hear Bully characters mention main characters from other locations in the other games, such as Carcer City, the place where Manhunt 1 takes place. Bullworth Academy is also shown briefly in a GTA 4 commercial. Number 4. The original idea. At the early beginning of development, the concept for Jimmy was that he was going to be a bully who would harass other students and bully them mercilessly. The final project was of course very different, since the player took on a much different character who acts more like a heroic troublemaker that stands up to the bullies. The principal Dr. Crabblesnitch was also going to be the main antagonist, but his role of being the main enemy was later replaced by Gary Smith, who plays the role of Jimmy's rival and former friend. Number 5. Jack Thompson. Most of you probably know who Jack Thompson is already. He is mainly known for being a former strong opponent of violent video games and claims that there is a strong correlation between fictional violence and real-life violence. He is somewhat seen as a nemesis by the Rockstar fanbase and even tried to file a lawsuit to get the game removed from store shelves in Florida. He claimed that the game was nothing but a nuisance and even labeled it as a Columbine simulator. He demanded a late pre-release copy of the game that he and Judge Ronald Friedman could look into in order to find any explicit content. They did not find anything that could land Rockstar Games in trouble, so the game was released whether Mr. Thompson liked it or not. Number 6. Gary Smith. Gary's original role in the game was very different. For starters, his SS uniform that he wears during Halloween originally had a swastika on it. At the end of the game, you would have to chase Gary to the rooftop where he would later fight you at the very top, only to fall down and plummet to his death. In the final game, Gary doesn't die. He does fall down into the principal's office through the skylight, but he does survive and gets dragged away by Jimmy, only to be expelled and kicked out of the academy. Number 7. The map. In the early days of development, Rockstar had a much bigger plan for the game map. Their initial idea was that Bullworth was going to be way bigger, like GTA San Andreas big. Eventually, they decided to make a smaller map and cut anything out that did not fit in. Amongst the things that were cut out was a pizza parlor, a sawmill, underground sewers, a skate park, as well as a fully functional subway station for Jimmy to use. Number 8. Jimmy's death. In the late stages of development, Rockstar had plans for what would happen if Jimmy failed the boss fight with the townie's leader Edgar. If Jimmy had failed to defeat Edgar and got knocked out, he'd fall into a trap hole full of green goo, which may have been acid. There are even unused lines of Edgar taunting Jimmy as he drowns and is being burned alive. Number 9. The cancelled Xbox version. The first Xbox, no, not the 360 or the Xbox One, the very first Xbox series were originally going to be the second platform for Canis Canem Edit. And since the Xbox focused a bit on multimedia such as movies and music, it is possible that an unused character in the game by the name of Nate was originally going to be selling music to the player. His unused dialogue featured lines that suggest that the player would be able to upload songs from the Xbox and import them in-game, where they could also have used them as a soundtrack to replace the original score. Number 10. time. It's not really known when Bully does take place, and it's generally believed that Bully takes place during the 80s or 90s because of the vehicle designs, but you can also find LCD televisions and computer screens. On the official Rockstar Games website, it states that Bully takes place during 2006, and there are notices on the walls in the Boy Storm that mention the year 2007. There is also a character voice dialogue that suggests that the game takes place during the 90s, but it still remains a mystery. That's it for this top 10 Bully video. Remember to subscribe and like for more Bully content, and as always, leave your thoughts and opinions in the comments below, and have a good day. Rock on.